Hey. Listen, happy Thursday. Listen, as I always say, you are listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. It is Thankful Thursdays. As I say every week, we have the activities of our limbs. We ain't in nobody's jail. We have our right mind. And listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, because y'all already know I have a little sign upside down and whatnot. But listen, as you already know, yes, before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And I know you heard me the first time. Listen, I'm super grateful, super excited. I don't know about you all, but I'm extremely excited. One, because it's Black History Month. Something really worth celebrating. And we all know that all of the holidays that we cash at people, spend money for, get depressed over, have all type of depressions about aren't even real holidays, if we really want to tell the truth about it. I mean, think about it. Christmas is about a white man coming down the chimney that we know ain't real, and it's really about Jesus being born. Then we know Halloween is about satanic, eating candy, losing your teeth. Then we know that Thanksgiving was really about a massacre, but we utilize it as a day to give thanks and celebrate with our family. Valentine's Day, everybody's about to be depressed because they ain't got nobody, or they want to be with somebody, or whoever they with, they don't want to be with them. That's a pagan holiday. Easter, we talk about the Easter bunny, but it's really about Jesus dying on the cross for our sins. Listen, it's Black History Month, and I don't know about y'all, okay? You're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I don't know about you all, but I'm so glad that January is over for a few reasons. It just seemed like it was just so long. Like it just was never ending. It was so heavy. And not to say that any of the things that have happened were minute or they were unimportant, but for the beginning of 2020, our visions almost got distorted. And I'm going to tell you how. Because everybody in 2019 talked about 2020 vision and how they about to get out here and they about to do their thing and all of this and all of that. And believe you me, just like God hears your prayers and God hears your desires and God knows your heart, the principalities of darkness, the forces of this earth and of this world, Satan has heard your thought process, the negatives, the naysayers. Everybody hears what you put out into the universe, even when you don't speak a word. Your actions, how you move, how you operate, those are forms of your energy. And if you're not careful, you're going to share information with people that don't have your best interests at heart. But if you're anything like me, I'm so grateful to God for bringing us into the month of February. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, today we're talking all about the checkup challenge, okay? If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the checkup challenge. And I know you're like, well, Jaja, what is, you about to make a point when you make that pop noise, like, listen, the checkup challenge is checking yourself. Checking yourself when it comes to your culture, checking yourself when it comes to your health, checking yourself when it comes to how you share your love. Listen, I'm talking all about the checkup challenge. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, this show is brought to you by PBA Royal Performing Arts School. PBA is an amazing school for youth and young adults that are looking to share their talents, grow their talents, increase their talents. If you're looking to put your child, children, or youth a part of something, put them a part of PBA. It is extremely economical. Once you get your refund check, go ahead and invest in your children, because as you can see, Kobe Bryant invested in his daughter Gianna. And at the end of the day, if we're not living our lives to leave a legacy for our children, we're living our lives to leave our children in debt. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. If we're not living our life to live and leave a legacy, we're living our life to leave our people and our family in debt. and you are disrespectful to your lineage, your family, your people that's coming behind you, under you, connected to you, you are serving a disservice when you don't properly develop solidarity and a solid plan and a stable plan for your family. But listen, this show is brought to you by PBA Royal, so make sure you get your kids, teenagers, young adults, sign up with that class. I'll add it into the link for the show. But if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and we're talking all about Checkup Challenge. You're listening to Yeah, I Said It. So listen, I'm super excited. Like I said before, January was extremely heavy, and we have to make sure that we are living our lives where we are exemplifying Black excellence. I think most of us can agree, for those of you that ain't gonna go super political and super deep on me, but we have had in the last decade some examples of what Black excellence looks like. And if you're not excited about Black History Month, I don't know what's wrong with you. Because let me tell y'all something. I love being Black. I love being a sister. I wouldn't want to be no other race. I wouldn't want to be no other ethnicities. I love my melanin. I love my lips. I love my eyes. I love fried chicken. I like watermelon. I like being outside at night and having long talks on the porch. I love getting family reunions and families getting together and reminiscing about old stories. I love learning about all of the amazing African American people who have made every other culture's life better. You don't believe me? Think about the elevator. Many people wouldn't be able to get up and down if it wasn't for a Black man who created the elevator. For you sisters, it's on your menstruation, your menstrual cycle. For you brothers that see sisters suffering from a monthly situation every month, a sister created the maxi pad. A brother created the traffic light. So these are things that have been created by people that look like you and I, that have made the life and the trajectory of the future and the present generations, making their lives so much easier. And my question to you, and if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. My question to you is, whose life are you making better? We are talking about the Checkup Challenge. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the Checkup Challenge. Listen, we got to check our hearts. We got to check our minds, and we got to check how we move. So at the end of the day, I'm so extremely grateful because Black History, the month of February, is a month of love. It's a month of heart awareness, and it's a month of celebrating Black history. And see, one of the things that you all have to understand is our history, our culture has been hidden from us century after century after century. One of the reasons why so many of our brothers and sisters that look like us have a problem with their skin tone. They have a problem with their sexuality. They have a problem with other people. They have these self-doubts and these self-issues that they have about themselves, and they reflect those things off of others. But when you know who you are and you know where you come from, it's hard for someone to try to persuade you to be somebody else. And I'm going to say that again. When you love who you are and you know where you come from, it's hard for somebody to persuade you on who you're not. See, people who suffer from self-identity or identity crises is because they don't know who they are and where they come from. I learned at a very early age, and this is why education and educators and knowledge is so important. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the Checkup Challenge. One of the reasons why I was so elated about being a sister at a young age is because I had a teacher named Miss Sterling at McFarland Elementary School from my hood, my neighborhood, Joy Road, who told me at McFarland Elementary that as a Black woman, that you should be proud of who you are. You should be proud of leading a family. You should be proud of your skin tone. You don't ever make nobody make you feel bad for being black, blacker than black. Because you already know the blacker the berry, the sweeter the juice. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, Miss Sterling from 3rd grade at McFarland taught me the importance of being a black woman and being okay with other black women. Miss Humphrey from Charles R. Drew Middle School, she taught me the value of standing up for my rights and being outspoken against injustices and not being apologetic about standing up for what's right. This is why we have so many problems of our people in leadership that don't do right by our people, because we have cowards with titles that aren't standing up for what's right because they want everybody to like them and they want to shuck and jive for the white man. Now, don't get me wrong. I am black and I am a sister and I love all people, but I'm black first. So at the end of the day, my heart connects to things that affect my people. Do I empathize with other cultures and the things that they've had to go through at the hands of people who want to manipulate and the people that are greedy in this country? I absolutely empathize, because God allows us to love, and he encourages us and charges us to love all people. And again, I love everybody, but my heart is connected to being black. So when I look at Miss Humphrey from Charles R. Drew Middle School, and she teaches me that don't be apologetic for utilizing your voice to stand up for what's right. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the checkup challenge. Because at the end of the day, you got to check yourself to see, are you really contributing to the positivity of my community, or are you a part of the problem? I oftentimes go throughout the community and I think, where all this trash come from? And it's because we, our people who look like you and I, don't have a respect or responsibility that connects them to the community of which they live. Nobody should have to push you, persuade you, encourage you to support your people. Listen, if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the checkup challenge. And listen, I want to let you know that this show is sponsored by PBA Royal. I want to give a big shout out to Dr. Richard T. James, one of my mentors, who is one of the regional directors, or he's getting ready to be a regional director with ACN. If you're looking for additional income, if you're looking to be a part of an amazing family, listen, shout out to Dr. Richard T. James, and make sure that you connect with him, follow him on Facebook, and get with him so that you can get some extra income for 2020. And not only that, but I want to thank Dr. Richard T. James for sponsoring my backdrop here for the show, as well as shout out to Detroit Sign Company. If you're looking for some of those graphic design opportunities, make sure you check out Detroit Sign Company. It's in East Lamb Mall. Shout out to Tony, who created this amazing backdrop for me. I gave him the idea of what I wanted, and he made it happen. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before we take it back, I'm going to add more to it. But we're talking about the checkup challenge. And the thing about it is that our history clearly is so important that they were willing, they as in other ethnicities, white folks, majority. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, because it's a spade, and a duck is a duck. That's what it is. Our history is so enriching and so, I need a word to describe it. It's so rich. And it's so full of life and so full of power that they were willing to water down our history. Other cultures were willing to water down where we come from, because if we're not careful, people will think we started off as slaves. Or if we're not careful, they'll have us thinking we started off as monkeys, knowing good and well that we didn't. And see, at the end of the day, you have to find ways to educate yourself, your family, your tribe, your people about the importance of knowing where you come from and knowing who you are. See, people aren't easily persuaded and suffering from identity crises if you know who you are. At the end of the day, Our history matters. And it matters because we've created everything that makes a person's life much better. From music, to fashion, to entertainment, to politics, to love, to family structure, to all of the things other ethnicities enjoy. Black people have this magical, beautiful vibration of spiritual energy that's not like any other race. When it comes to our multifaceted personalities, our styles, our skin tones, our families, everything about being black is beautiful. And if we're not careful, other races will make us feel like we are inferior. They've already called us the minority, but you got to understand we're really the majority. That's one of the reasons why other ethnicities want to keep us small. They want to keep our mindset thinking small. And if you really want to know the truth, we're really the majority. And that's why other ethnicities have a problem, especially white supremacy, because they don't want our race integrating with other races, creating little black babies. Because our DNA dominates any DNA in this world. You get a black person with a Chinese, a Mexican, a white, any person, any other race, the black DNA will dominate. It will dominate. This is one of the reasons why Meghan Markle she had to depart from that life, because if I have to suffer because of my blackness, then that's a problem. I celebrate this month because our people have been through so much at the hands of other ethnicities as well as at the hands of one another. Yeah, you don't believe me? Look at history. History says kill the black family, kill the black man, separate the black family, promote the black woman, dumb down the black kids. That's what history says. Then on top of that, this is what we got from other ethnicities. Then on top of that, here is black on black. I don't like you. You light skinned. You got good hair. I'm dark skinned. I don't like you. You moving ahead a little further in life. You think you better than me. You came from the same block as me. How dare you have a vision or dreams or decide that you want to go and be something great? Oh, I don't want to just support you. I want to watch you fall on your face so that way I can say, oh yeah, I knew you wouldn't make it. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the checkup challenge. Checking your heart, checking your culture, checking the love that you share with other people. Because one thing's for sure, two things for certain is, can't nobody say I don't share love. They can say, they probably say she a little crazy, she a little touched. But one thing's for sure, two things for certain is I'm consistent. And consistency will always allow me to win. And at the end of the day, when you're celebrating your brother or your sister's success, it doesn't take anything away from you. When I see other black women, I ain't tripping about how beautiful they are. You know why? Because I'm just as beautiful as they are. I'm not tripping at another woman's success in her whatever it is that she's doing. You know why? Because the same God that will bless them to increase their future and their prosperity is the same God that will do it for me. And see, as you celebrate Black history, it's not just celebrating the people that came before you and the people who decided to be creative and be innovative and fight through racism, discrimination, segregation, all of the things that we're still dealing with, but we don't have to fight as hard. We don't have to go to the back of the restaurant no more. We can own restaurants. And you mean to tell me you hating? You hating on your brother or sister? Hey, listen, if anything, the month of February should show so much love. It should overpower any beef. It should overpower any war between two people. The month of February should be all about showing Black love. Because at the end of the day, if we're not careful, we'll be so distracted and so distraught about everything that's going on that things will slip through the cracks. Things will slip through the cracks, like elected officials that think they can do whatever the hell they want to do. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. See, if we're not careful, we'll get distracted by the little things, and here it is. Now we've been infiltrated. Now we got gentrification, and we couldn't even come up with a way for us to work together and buy up all them buildings. We know black billionaires. Where was those black billionaires when all of this stuff was going on sale? So we gonna shuck and jive for the white man? We gonna get a white man all the properties in the city of Detroit? You mean to tell me we got a majority black council board? And you mean to tell me that we can't make sure and ensure that some of this stuff is for us? Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm gonna add more to it. Because while other people are fighting over a piece of chicken, there's somebody with a whole farm full of chicken. See, we gotta get away from the dumb stuff. We gotta get over the small stuff. We'll never be able to acquire what those historians, those black people, those scientists, those innovators, those creatives, those people who were the first at doing things that look like you and I. We'll never get to that point because we don't feel like we have anything to lose. Every day we wake up and we go to work, we go to school, we do whatever it is that we want to go and do. And if you're tuning in yet, listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about checkup challenge. If we're not careful, we'll be distracted by the little things. And when the big things come along, we're not prepared because we've been fighting over the piece of chicken and somebody had a farm full of chickens the whole time. If we're not careful, we'll have 4 more years of foolishness because we too lazy to get up and go vote because we feel like our vote don't count, because that's what you've been hearing for decades to decades to decades. It does count. I know it counts because I've had to do a multitude of recounts. And what a recount is when 2 elected officials run for a particular position and somebody feels that it's unfair and they want to recount all of those votes. And when there is a recount, there's a team of experts, and I was included in that team. There's a team of experts that are called Wayne County canvassers. We sit in a room. We have to be locked in this room the entire day. Nothing can leave out. Nothing can come in. You have to count each and every vote. Take the vote. Pick the vote up. Show it to everybody at that table. That's included. That goes for the people that ran as well as the people that's in their camp. And if they want to challenge a vote, guess what? They get to challenge that vote. So for all of you who out there that's saying that your votes don't count, they do. And if you're not careful, we'll keep people in position that need to go. Our House needs to be Democrat. Our Senate needs to be Democrat. Our Congress needs to be Democrat. And yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because if, in fact, this individual that's the CEO of America does become our president again, it's going to be hard and difficult for him to do a lot of the foolishness that he's done these past 4 years if Democrats are in office. Do I side with either one of them? No, not really, because they all crooked if you ask me, other than the people who genuinely are doing what they say they're going to do. Some people just like position and power. They don't want to change nothing. They don't want to make nothing better. They like the title and they like the clout that it brings. And if you're not careful, you'll be chasing clout and you'll be chasing a life that's not going to suit you at all. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. This show is brought to you by PBA Royal. Not only is it brought to you by PBA Royal Training Performing Arts School, it's brought to you by TNT Taxes, located at 16,000 West 9 Mile on the corner of Metropolitan Drive in Southfield. Listen, if you haven't gotten your taxes done, Listen, I know that it could be a very, very tumultuous time because you feel like, well, Jaja, I ain't getting a lot back, so I ain't really in a rush to do it. One thing's for sure, two things for certain. You just don't want to owe. You don't want to owe Uncle Sam. And for all of you out there that think you're going to scheme and scam because you don't want to pay child support and you don't want them to take your child support over or you don't want them to garnish you, listen, I would rather you go ahead, take care of your taxes, get your taxes done, let them garnish you, let them take that money out because you would hate to get a large sum of money. God blesses you, opens up the floodgates, and they snatch it away. It has happened to so many people because they think that they can scheme and scam the system. So if you want your taxes done, if you're looking for bookkeeping services, T&T Taxes is where it's at. We get you the max for your tax. Now listen, I'm not saying cheat on your own tax preparer. Because if you got somebody that's working that thing out for you, by all means, stick with what you know. But if you're looking to do something different and if you're looking to get your taxes prepared properly, T&T Taxes is where it's at. We are open from 10 a.m. to 8 p.m. We do walk-ins as well as schedule an appointment. But we prefer for you to schedule an appointment so that way we can service you properly. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It, and we're talking all about the Checkup Challenge. So we talked about why Black history is so important. This month is so important, so worth celebrating beyond every other holiday there is. Because all of those holidays are man-made holidays. Christmas, man-made. Easter, man-made. Valentine's Day, man-made. Thanksgiving, man-made. All of these are man-made holidays. Halloween, man-made. None of these, Black history, yeah, it's man-made, but it's worth celebrating. Because we have some history that's worth celebrating. And every day that you live, you should want to know more about where you come from, who you're attached to, what's your background. Right now, I have been selected to be a part of a really amazing program. It's called iDetroit. And it was maybe a few hundred people that were chosen throughout the city of Detroit, ages, different people. And what they do is they did a DNA of me, and they have results that they're going to go and find out who I'm connected to all the way back to Africa. And at the end of the day, we all want to know our roots run deep. And if you're not careful, people will try to pluck your flower up and take your roots. At the end of the day, our country is based on manipulation and greed. And if we're not careful, those same disgusting character traits will trickle down and have trickled down within our culture. That's why we got so many chicken Georges out here that treat the Chaldeans at the gas station and the liquor store better than they treat their brother and sister that they're related to. The Bible says you cannot say that you love God and hate your brother. You can't. You can't say you rock with God, but you can't stand your own people. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people that look like me that I don't want no parts with because they foul. But at the end of the day, I know that they're my people. And I know that one of the reasons why they jacked up is because of all the things that our culture has had to face. Poverty, lack thereof, education, just so many barriers that we have had. And because we've had those barriers, it causes us to look at each other in a very envious and jealous way. And if we're not careful, we will tolerate each other instead of celebrating each other. That's why it's so important to do a checkup challenge on your heart. Not just your heart in the love form, but you got to check on your heart in the physical form. It's Black History Month. And so with that being said, it's Heart Awareness Month. And many of you don't understand that heart disease, cardiac arrest, stroke, low blood pressure, high blood pressure are heavily prevalent in the Black community. One of the dominating killers of African American women is heart disease. So it ain't just about a checkup challenge for the love and the spiritual and the energy. No, you need to physically check your body out. Some of you ain't been to the doctor in years. You feel different. Some of us will feel a pain and we'll ignore it. especially our men. Some of our ladies haven't been to an OBGYN and God knows, but you ready to pop that thing come Valentine's Day. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. It's your girl, Jaja. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube. You know Jaja. If you're tuning in, we're talking about Checkup Challenge. Because what you fail to realize is that although it is Black History Month, a lot of the diseases that are prevalent in our community were not prevalent in that time. So that is an indicator that there have been some changes in our food, in the quality of air and the environment, the quality of day-to-day living. See, those Black people made it better for each other. They weren't in competition. They were trying to figure out, how do we as a collective get out of this? Not, oh, she thinks she better because she got a podcast. Oh, she thinks she all that because her name Jaja. Oh, her personality is bigger than life and she just think that she's just all that. No, you should celebrate my personality. You should celebrate my boisterousness, because my boisterousness could potentially save you. I've been in situations where I've been around other Black people and they would not speak up. And they know that the situation was wrong. They know that things were unjust. And they sat back and they watched it happen. Me, being the sister that I am, I'm not going to sit around and let injustices happen to me, my son, his generation, this generation, or any under the sound of my voice and why God has put breath in my body. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because when you do a checkup challenge, it allows you to see, how am I using my talents to better my community? How am I using my talents to make the next generation better? See, the difference between this generation and the previous generations is their inventions made lives better. Their products made lives better. The quality of their education and their knowledge made lives better. How are you making anybody's life better? By what you do. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because not only do we have to check ourselves on a day-to-day basis, and it's okay. Every day is a day where you should do a self-evaluation. Am I being jealous? Am I being envious? Am I really supporting her like she needs? Am I supporting him like he needs? Am I being a good wife? Am I being a great husband? Sometimes you got to evaluate yourself, because we're always quick to tell another person what they're doing wrong. We're super quick to tell another person how they ain't living their life right, because we feel like we so holy and righteous and we doing our thing because we feel like our thing is the best thing since sliced bread. No. That's inaccurate. And if you're not careful, that pompous attitude will get you nowhere but a door slammed in your face. Because what we fail to realize is that some things aren't replaceable. You can't replace Black folks. I would love to see you try. I would love to see what a world would look like without Black people in it. It'll be a real dull one, baby. I would really love to see what life would look like without personalities like mine. It would be a real boring world. You have to be careful that you don't think that everything is replaceable. Some people in your life are not replaceable. Some relationships are not replaceable. You'll never get another person like the person that was in your life. And if you are the person that's not replaceable, you should take pride in that. You shouldn't be, I know Valentine's Day is coming up, but you shouldn't be chasing after no man. You're the prize, ladies. I know some of these fellas think they the prize too, and y'all all that in a bag of chips. It's a lot of kings out here that's doing their thing, and I love y'all. Especially the ones that's taking care of women and treating us right. But then there are some of you that can't decide whether you want to hate somebody or if you want to love them. Some of y'all hate to love another person. And I know that you say, well, Joshua, you don't know what I've been through. You don't understand. I've had my heart hurt, my heart broken. I understand. I've had my heart broken, betrayed, friends, all type of stuff. And it happens. Make sure it's on, y'all. But make sure. Yeah, I said it. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. And if you're tuning in, we're talking about the checkup challenge. Everybody's heart's been broke before. Everybody's been disappointed. But see, the thing about it is that you can't decide whether you gonna love them all the way or you gonna hate them. Which one is it? Because you can't do both. You can't love me and hate me. You're an oxymoron. A double-minded man is unstable in all his ways. And at the end of the day, I don't want to be around nobody that's flippy-flop. 1 minute you're in, the next minute you're out. 1 minute you love me, the next minute you're hating on me. Which one is it? Either you in or you out. And see, I like people that's going to be in all the way and they consistent. If you're not going to be in, stay away. Because at the end of the day, some people aren't replaceable. You're going to have to figure out and pick a side. Because the thing about it is we all want unconditional love, but we love people with conditions. We all want to be loved unconditionally. Love me. Love me for me and all of my flaws and all. Love me. We all want to be loved. Love me. But we love people on conditions. We say we want unconditional love, but we love with conditions. The only people that unconditionally love are children. Children unconditionally love. They don't see a fat person, a skinny person, a bald person, a person with hair, a rich person, a poor person. They just see a person. They just feel. We as adults, we say we want love, unconditional love, but yet we love on conditions. Our love is predicated upon what somebody does for us, how somebody talks to us, treats us, what they do, what they don't do. Our love isn't unconditional. We love our children unconditional, and even that is a fine line. Because after a certain age, you still love them with all your heart, but the conditions have changed. The type of love that you gave them when they was 3 is different from the type of love you're going to give them at 16. Believe you me, I know. I love my son with all my heart, but sometimes he infuriates me. Because I get where he's at. He's in a place of learning who he is, learning about his manhood, learning about his blackness, learning about his power, learning about his intuition. He's at a place of learning and structure. And sometimes it frustrates me because as a parent, you're supposed to love your child and be in your child's life, period, point blank. There should be nothing that separates you from being in your child's life, especially when they're at an age of still under your tutelage. That's why I couldn't be upset when the other parent isn't involved as much. Because as much as I would love, and I'm sure my son would too, for the other parent to be active, there are things that maybe God is protecting my son from that he don't need to learn from the other parent. Sometimes God loves us so much that he won't allow certain things to happen. See, some of you you're dealing with the fact that your dad wasn't there. You better be lucky your daddy wasn't there. You probably be jacked up. Some of y'all like, my mama gave me up. She never loved me. She never said I love you. Have you ever thought maybe that's why you don't have good relationships? Have you ever thought maybe that's why you can't love the way you really desire? Because all of us want to love. All of us want to love, and we all want to be loved. There is not one single soul. You can be as hard as you want to be, evil as you want to be, but at the end of the day, when you in that room, laying in that bed, in your comfort of your bathroom, wherever you are, by yourself with your own thoughts, you think about the people that love you. You think about the love you lost from people who've gone on to glory. You think about the love that you gave other people that didn't respect the love that you gave them, that didn't handle your heart properly. You think about that. Then you think about how that affected your heart health. Not just your emotions. But what you all don't realize is a lot of that lack of love and desiring of love affects your real heart. It puts stress on your real heart. It puts anxiety and depression on your real heart. It causes high blood pressure because you trying to fight for a love that no longer belongs to you. Let it go, like frozen. Because at the end of the day, your heart gonna be froze if you don't let it go. Some of us don't even understand why we getting chronic headaches, but because our love for someone has exceeded its time. sometimes you got to put the end to love. It's levels of love. Because when a woman and a man is loved right, baby, when a woman is loved right by a man, there's nothing that woman won't do for him. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. She'll go to the end of earth for him. When a woman is loved right. When a woman doesn't have to feel like she got to be a woman and a man. See, one of the challenges with my marriage was the fact that I felt like I was married and still single. A single parent. What was the purpose of me being married to you to take two and turn into one when I still feel like one? I don't feel like my half was matched with your half and then we became whole. I felt like I was still my own whole. And so when a woman is loved right, there's nothing that she wouldn't do for her man. Same for a man. When a man is loved right, he has a soft spot for a woman. There's nothing that she can do that will put her or make her wrong. Do it mean they don't get mad at each other? Do they argue? Yeah, that all that happens. That's real life. Stuff happens. But I'm talking about when you're loving someone properly. When a woman doesn't have to feel like she got to be the man and the woman in a relationship, she not being loved properly. So that means that the relationship is going to suffer. When a man don't feel like he's being respected and he don't feel like you hold a high regard for him leading that family or that relationship, he's going to back away and he's going to retreat. And he's going to go to another woman that makes him feel wanted, that makes him feel appreciated, that's whispering sweet nothings in his ear, that's putting on lipstick and putting on a nice bra. And they ain't walking around here with depressed breasts and your breasts down, swing low, sweet cherry eye. You are the part. And if you're not careful, we will take for granted the love that we have for another person because we feel like, oh, they ain't gonna find nobody like me. It's billions of people in this world. Somebody will be just like you. My ex-husband taught me, don't waste time on loving someone or being with someone and you're not happy. It doesn't just take a toll on you emotionally. It takes a toll on you physically. And if you're tuning in, you're listening to, yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Listen, follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel, You Know Jaja, because you do. And make sure that you share this post. Just share the video. Just share it. Click share. Boom. Problem solved. Don't even think about it. Because if you think long, you think wrong. Period. And so if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. If you're looking for a speaker, if you're looking for a host, if you are looking for me to be on a panel of one of your events, listen, I am ready to be booked because I'm blessed and I'm always busy. Listen, I'm trying to fill my whole calendar up for 2020. So if you are looking for a host, for me to host your event, I would love to. If you're looking for me to be a part of an event as a speaker, I would love to. If you're looking for me to be a part of a panel, I would love to. If you would like to be a part of an auspicious occasion that I'm a part of, I'm part of the leadership tour, the leadership experience tour. I'll be speaking on this tour May 30th. The tickets are just $50. It does include lunch. I would love for you all to support me. So when you get your income taxes, just go ahead and get you a ticket. I'll have the link in my bios on one of my social media pages, or you can just scroll through and look. But it would be really, really nice for me to look out into the audience and see some familiar faces there to support me. But if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. We're talking about the checkup challenge. We have to decide whether or not we're going to hate somebody, we're going to love them. We got to figure out, do we really want unconditional love? Because if we do, we have to give unconditional love. Not just want to receive unconditional love. You got to give it. See, some of us want to receive, and that's why you're struggling with the heart that you have, the love that you have, and the self-hate that you have, because you are a receiver. You always want people to give to you. You never want to give to anyone else. I got a text message yesterday from one of my clients, Rachel Newsom. She's having an event, Crowns On, Spiritual Awakeness. I think that's the name of her book release. And her event is on the same day as mine. But I'll be leaving my event to go support her event. So what I was saying is that when you love based on conditions, or you love unconditional, you have no problem with giving a hand up or a hand out. Somebody gave it to me, so it is my obligation to give it to somebody else. Whose life are you making better by doing what it is that you're doing? And at the end of the day, if you're tuning in and listening to I Said It, I'm your girl, Jaja. Subscribe to my YouTube channel. You know Jaja. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on YouTube and Facebook. Share this video. If you're tuning in, you're listening to I Said It, and we're talking about the checkup challenge. Because at the end of the day, there are levels of love. There's levels of love. There's levels to this. Everything has a level to it. Even love. Even health. Even Black History Month. And if you're tuning in, I'm talking all about celebrating black, because I'm blackity black, blacker than black. Okay? Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. But at the end of the day, we have to be careful that we're not celebrating, that we need to celebrate each other and not just tolerate each other. Most of us have met our soulmates, if not more than once, probably twice. But because of our arrogance and our pridefulness, we have allowed opportunities to slip away. We've allowed our health to get past us, and we're chasing that size 6 that we once were in high school. We chasing that flat stomach and that 6-pack that you had when you played football. You're constantly chasing the hair that you lost in your 30s. You're constantly chasing things that you don't know if you'll ever get back because of pride and arrogance, because of hurt and despair. And see, some of us don't want to be real with ourselves that we're really hurting. See, when I had to really have a self-talk with Jaja and say, Jaja, baby, you acting out. And you only acting out because you're hurt. And see, some of us have the tendency to try to overlook our feelings because we want to save face for other people. And what I mean by that is we're constantly conceding, meaning we're constantly giving a pass for other people to treat us like trash. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. See, people who have problems with me is because I speak up for myself. You're not going to talk to me any kind of way. You're not going to do me any kind of way. Yes, we're going to have a conversation right then and there. So that way there's no obstruction. There's no illusion. There's no misinterpretation or miscommunication on how I feel about you. See, that is when you have growth and maturity. And it don't have to be the sister girl way. I ain't got to do all of that. I ain't got to say all of that. It ain't got to be all of that. I can say what I need to say in a very respectful tone, in the most soft-spoken way that I possibly can, with verbiage that is outstanding, where you have no other choice other than to understand what is being presented to you at that very moment, so that there are no confusions. See, when you love somebody and you love yourself and you love your blackness, you don't allow people to give you garbage, feed you garbage. See, one of the things that I respect about the Muslim culture is they love their temple. They take care of their temple. They ain't putting anything, they ain't eating Taco Bell every day, KFC, Coney Island, McDonald's, Church's Chicken. That every day, I gotta have a pop. I gotta smoke a square. Every day. When was the last time you exercised? And I'm not talking about just getting up off the couch to go reach for the remote. I'm talking about really putting in 20, 10, 15, 30 minutes into physical activity. And I ain't talking about sex, even though that is a good cardio activity, baby. Yeah, I said it before I take it back. I'm going to add more to it. Yes, God. But yeah, seriously. When was the last time? Because that's a part of the checkup challenge. That's a part of checking your heart. If your heart is constantly not being challenged, if it's not being challenged, it won't work properly. You'll be dealing with heart palpitations. And if you don't believe me, ask somebody who got a pacemaker. Ask somebody who on high blood pressure medication. If you don't believe me, Ask somebody who's suffering from having an aneurysm or a stroke how important your health is. Because as beautiful as love and sharing love with your significant other is, as beautiful as it is to share the Black history and all the things that we're acquiring to do in our lives, none of that matters when you're not healthy and you're suffering from your health. If you don't attack your health immediately, you have the propensity to take on some things that won't allow you to love the way you want to. See, some of us can't love the way we want to because of the restrictions that we put on ourselves. This is one of the reasons why I have so many initiatives with my foundation, the Kelly's Kids Foundation. This is why it's so important to come to Hustle for Your Heart. Shameless plug. Listen, Hustle for Your Heart is an event that I'll be putting on February 22nd from 11 a.m. until 3 p.m. It's a $20 donation, and the funds and the proceeds go toward the Kelly's Kids Foundation Wheelchair Ramp Project. We're going to be building wheelchair ramps for families. I believe 3 to 5 recipients are going to receive a wheelchair ramp so that their loved one can get in and out of the house. Because the initiatives that our foundation does are all the things that we had to go through with our own mother. If you've been watching my Insta stories, and I really encourage you to, I show how my mom went from this beautiful woman, she's still beautiful, to the woman in the wheelchair with the red shirt. The KISS crew was the hustle crew that she was a part of because my mom was heavy set and overweight. And one of the things that she loved to do was hustle. That was her form of exercise. That was how she lost a lot of her weight. And so by commemorating and honoring her life as well as her death, this will be our 4th annual Hustle for the Heart Health Fair. So we are looking for vendors. We're looking for sponsors. If you are looking to be a part, if you say, Jaja, you know what, I don't have nothing else but my time, I can volunteer. I need all the help I can get. I can't do nothing by myself. I would love for you to be a part of it. I do give out community service documentation, so if you got to give it for probation, parole, community service for your kids, I got the letter for you. We are a 501c3 nonprofit organization that has been established since 2016. And it is to commemorate the life of my mother because she was a mother of 7 children. And we want to honor children and parents who suffer from terminal illnesses. That can change the trajectory of an entire family. So if you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. And before I take it back, what I'm going to do? Y'all know what I'm going to do. Add more to it. And I know y'all heard me the first time. Listen, we're talking about the checkup challenge. One of the things that you have to understand is that love is what you make it. And if you're not careful, you'll suffer from not getting the love you deserve because you're not giving the love you deserve. A lot of us are in relationships and we give our all and we're frustrated because the person that we're giving our all to isn't giving their all to us. How long do you have to suffer in a relationship, in a situation, in a friendship, and you're not getting back what you're reciprocating? You're not getting back what you're giving out. And if we're not careful, women, we have the tendency, and I'm talking to the women, we have the tendency to overlook and overlook and overlook and keep overlooking until we explode. Listen. I am a firm believer that you have a few chances with me. And after them chances have been eliminated, have a nice day. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because there's no sense of us wasting our time. You only get one life. This is not a dress rehearsal. This is not the prelude to the real song. This is it. And if you're sharing your love with somebody that doesn't appreciate it, they don't care about how they don't care about how they handle your heart. They're prideful, arrogant, and ignorant. They don't want to come back and apologize. They don't want to rectify it. And see, I'm not talking about apologize. I'm talking about apologize. And apologies come with changed behaviors. If a person is constantly apologizing for the behavior that they're giving you, they're not really apologetic. They just know an apology is going to get you back in good graces. Apologies without changed behaviors are just mere words. Apologies with change behaviors are true apologies. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. Because at the end of the day, when a woman and a man is loved right, love is easy. Love isn't hard. It's not puffed up. It's not proud. It doesn't keep record of wrongdoings. Love is easy. It's so easy for me to go and speak to my enemies. You know why? Because I love my enemies. My enemies got to be used as my footstool. My enemies have a purpose. So I can't hate you because you hate me. I ain't going to hate on you because you hating on me. Because what you're doing serves a purpose. You thinking hindering me and not loving me right and mishandling my heart is going to hurt me? No, it's going to help me. It's going to propel me to my next level, to my purpose, to the next dimension. Think about it. Every woman that's ever been through a domestic violence situation and finally comes out of it, what happens? She discovers her purpose, her talent, her times, her gifts. When a man is in a relationship that's abusive, that doesn't serve him any purpose, he ends up meeting the woman of his dreams and loves her and gets loved the right way. It's not until we come out of what we know we shouldn't be in is when we discover what our real true life's purposes are. But how long do you got to be in it for you to know it ain't for you? Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it because I want you all to experience a love that you deserve. We all deserve a love that's genuine, a love that's kind, a love that reciprocates what's being given to them. There's nothing like saying we want relationship goals, but we don't want to go through the relationship woes. We all want to go and chase and get the big money and chase the bag, but yet we don't want to support nobody else's businesses. And as we celebrate Black History, as we celebrate Heart Awareness Month, as we celebrate Valentine's Day, Check Up Challenge. If you're tuning in, we're talking about the Check Up Challenge. Because if you're not careful, you will check somebody else without checking yourself. And that's a hard pill to swallow when you have to reevaluate what you've put into the atmosphere. In this season of February, we have got to learn to respect our relationships, whether they be platonic or marriage or you're dating. Respect the relationship. If you're looking to build a relationship genuinely, then genuinely build the relationship. Stop wasting people's time. Don't nobody got time for you to be talking about you want a relationship, you don't even know, you do, you don't. Because some of y'all have come across some really amazing men, but because you were immature and couldn't handle it, you missed out on a blessing. Some of you men, you probably be married right now, getting the best fellatio of your life, but because you want to be a playboy and be out here in these streets, you've missed your opportunity of a woman that didn't mind cooking, cleaning, and doing whatever for you. But because you mishandled her heart and you mishandled your own heart, now you got to suffer. And if we don't respect the relationships, we'll suffer from the relationships. We got to respect the race, our race. Respect the fact that you Black. You are Black. You are an African American individual, and you shouldn't be apologetic about it. You should walk in grace. You should hold your head up high and walk with your crown on your head as if you know you are royalty. And at the end of the day, you got to be careful, because if you don't respect our race, you can't anticipate or expect any other ethnicity to respect our race. Black men, respect each other. Black men, respect the Black women. Black men, respect these Black children. Black woman, respect the Black man. Black woman, respect other Black women. Black women, take care of these Black kids. Black kids, respect the Black man. Black kids, respect the Black woman. Black kids, respect each other. I teach that everywhere I go. Because if we don't respect our race and each other, how do we expect other races to respect us? They won't. They see us killing each other, talking about each other, dogging each other out, being non-supportive. Not only respect the relationship, respect the race, but respect the heartbeat. You want to live a long life? Take care of the life you have. You want to experience longevity and prosperity? The first rule to having prosperity is taking care of the temple that God gave you. You cannot enjoy your wealth with poor health. You can't do it. If you're tuning in, you're listening to Yeah, I Said It. Before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. If you need your taxes done, schedule your appointment with TNT Taxes. Come out to the Hustle for Your Heart Health Fair, February 22nd. We're looking for volunteers, vendors, and sponsors. Listen, if you are looking to get your children involved, get them involved in PBA Royal Performing Arts School. Listen, it's your girl, Jaja. Follow me, support me. I appreciate all of you, and I love all of you. Yeah, I said it, and before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it, and I know you heard me the first time. Listen, I love y'all. Make sure y'all share this video. Make sure y'all support me. Make sure y'all come out to my event February 22nd. I'm super, super duper excited for next week's episode because I'm having a really, really special guest. I really, really honor her. I really look up to her. She is definitely a woman that is taking care of her business, and we're going to be talking all about love because it's going to be the day before Valentine's Day. Ooh. And I got to tell y'all about this story about this guy, how he cussed me out. Y'all ready? He cussed me out because I didn't want to take him on a date to Burger Shack. Now, I'm not going to go into the details, but you don't want to miss this episode next week. Listen, my girl Robin from Motor City Woman Radio is going to be in the building, and I'm super grateful and super excited that she's going to be here with me on next week. Listen, guys, you don't want to miss this episode because it's going to be absolutely phenomenal, absolutely amazing. Listen, make sure you share this video. Follow me on Facebook. Follow me on Instagram. Listen, before I take it back, yeah, I said it. And before I take it back, I'm going to add more to it. I love y'all. Peace.